It probably matters if the actor is dead too, right? I mean, there's not like you're not going to get any hassle. The studio won't get any hassle from their estate.
No, definitely not. But you know, in a case like where it's been in the theaters, now here's the TV series.
Oh, I got it.
You know, like on Barnyard.
Oh yeah.
Kevin James played
the cow in the movie, and Chris Hardwick did it.
And Hardwick did it for the TV, and Chris was totally doing his own thing.
Yeah.
You know.
But in terms of impressions, I mean, I'm not an impressionist. I'm an actor and a singer, but Mo is an actor and a singer and a world-class impressionist. And so the thing is that he not only does the spot-on impressions, but then he can do variations on a theme so that it has the flavor of something, but not necessarily a spot-on thing. And that's really a nuanced gig. I'm not an impressionist per se, but I have opportunities.
You have some very good impressions. I wish you'd stop saying that.
I do depressions, which is, you know, but no, but what'll happen is folks in here, I know our friend Joe Shirley and his son are here, and we have other actors in the audience too, and often what happens is that a producer will say, hey Rob, you do Don Knotts, you do Barney Fife, and I say, well, I do a bad impression of Jeff Bennett's perfect impression, and he really is. I mean, it's spot on.
Yeah.
But Jeff isn't there, so the producer will say, okay, well, what have you got? And I'll do my version of it. And when we talk about never being afraid to play along, you don't want to say, nah, I'm not, unless you really aren't any good at it. But it's more fun to play. And so as a result of me saying, yeah, I can do it. It's not spot on, but I can do it. But it was enough of it that it satisfied the producer, and I ended up doing 10 or 12 episodes down the road of this show because I wasn't afraid to play along. So in that respect, the spot-on impression wasn't necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always fun. But you know, you guys like Mo and Kevin Richardson, DiMaggio, and you know, those guys really do impressions. Welker, that's a different animal.
This from the man who does not only the best, but the only Foster Brooks impression I've ever seen.
My friend Maurice LaMarche come to me one afternoon, and he said, I think that you are about the funniest man I have ever seen. And I know that I myself have never laughed as hard as when I've seen a grown Canadian expatriate wet his trousers. I love that.
I have tried to work on that impression for years.
What's great is that
cannot get it down.
The mean age of the audience here is going, who the fuck is Foster?
To them, you're Foster Brooks.
But I am so appreciated of you both.
Foster Brooks was a comedian in the 1970s who was famous for doing the very best drunk act.
It was great.
And he would do it on the Dean Martin comedy roasts. Which, if you're up late, sometimes they even show commercials for ordering the DVD set.
Yeah, it's great.
And just, you know what, Google or go YouTube Foster Brooks.
Yeah, and it's great because it's a really brilliant bit. Mr. Brooks was, you know, a phenomenal performer. But
he was 28 years sober when he created the character.
Yeah.
He hadn't had a drink in 28 years, and he created this character. And he said, you know, what he did was he played a man trying to fool everybody, and he's fooling nobody.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play
he's not like
drunk.
Frank Fontaine.
He's the guy who's convinced that he's convinced you that he's not drunk, and he is.
Yeah, that he thinks he's the only one in the room who's not, who knows that he's drunk, right? I know that I've had a little too much. And he would always burp like in the middle of a sentence, like, honey, you are about the most beautiful girl I've seen in my life. And it is such a great
And he was always dressed in a tuxedo. He was like that upscale drunk. You know, the president of the network who had too much to drink, and now he's got to go.
Anyway, you should Google it. It's really a wonderful bit, and I totally stole it, and he's dead, and he can't do a goddamn thing about it. Anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question. Thank you, sir. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I have always wanted to ask Rob this if I ever got the chance, and now I do. Would you be willing to at least sing part of Nations of the World in Carl Weezer's voice?
Okay. All right. Right.
Because if he sings the whole thing in Carl Weezer's voice,
Yeah, it'll take.
we'll be out of here at 4 p.m.
Right. If I sing all the countries of the world like Carl Weezer, I will have a seizure. And so will you.
I'll have a seizure.
You'll have a seizure salad. Okay. So I'll do the first. Goes, United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, Taiwan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You
Key
also.
change.
What's that?
Key change. Modulate. Up.
Yeah.
Up a-
Oh, no, thank you very much. I love that little guy. He's so cool. Chicks dig me. Unfortunately, they're baby chickens, which is weird, but I get a lot of numbers, so. Anyway, thank you very much.
The thing that's amazing about that, I mean, very often when you've got a set piece like the Countries of the World song, or for me, the Orson Welles outtake bit, you have to, you do it in the voice, it becomes rote. And I almost was worried you would forget the words if you did it as any other character, but
I'm
Yakko,
not as dumb as I look.
I know. I just thought maybe it was so ingrained in your brain DNA that it's a
my
Yakko
pinky
thing.
DNA.
But yes, but for you to switch into another character and still remember those
I'm
very
just
complicated
that
words.
good.
You are. I'm paying you a compliment.
I think.
You
He slipped into Bill Shatner. Watch
should
what.
relish it. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama.
Did you know that Maurice and our dear departed friend are really close? Did you do that with
Bill Bigger.
Bill Bigger?
Our dear friend Bill Bigger.
He and Bill created International Talk Like William Shatner Day.
Yeah. We were driving along, and I was driving him to the airport, and he'd been talking to me for a few weeks about we should do William Shatner Day, and International Talk Like a Pirate Day is lame. Anybody can talk like a pirate. You should do a video tutorial of how to talk like Shatner. And I was like, Bill,
So
I'm
Bill
not going
fired
to
up
do
your
that.
camera.
I don't want to do that. And I'm driving, and he's a captive audience. I'm driving him to the airport because I've got my hands on the wheel, and he just puts the camera. He goes, do it. Just tell people how to do William Shatner. So I do this 5-minute long thing off the top of my head on the 405 freeway going 10 miles an hour.
It's fantastic.
And it ends up going viral. I mean, it had a decent amount of views the first day, and then Harry Knowles of Ain't It Cool News linked it and said, "The brain declares William Shatner Day." And next thing I know, we
It's
had
great.
100,000 views.
And
it just
Shatner
kept going.
Shatner talked about it.
Shatner talked about it the following year.
Yeah.
He took over the
And
holiday.
what did he say?
He said, "Please don't try to do me.
It sickens.
It sickens me."
No,
I
you
don't-
should.
Oh, he said. Actually, what he really said is, "Today is International Talk Like William Shatner Day. Who am I supposed to talk like?"
So when you go home or when you're done, Google, Maurice LaMarche, Talk Like William Shatner Day. It's freaking hysterical. Yeah. Now, next question. Yes, sir.
There's a theory online that Pinky is the genius and Brain's the insane one. What do you two think about that?
Yes.
That is why they call it a theory, my friend.
All I know is, nothing, because I'm stupid. No, didn't we do, we did one episode, the Pinky POV, right? Where
Yes, where we saw what it was like to be in Pinky's head.
Yeah.
Genius episode.
And there's
if you-
one episode where Brain says, "Pinky, are you pondering it?" And Pinky says, "Yes, I am."
Oh, that's
and
the
I-
one where we turned you into a genius.
Yeah, and it was
Right.
genius. And it was great. I don't know. The thing that's beautiful about that whole experience is that there are people who are interested enough to discuss that. That's fantastic. I mean,
Is it possible that they're both in their own way geniuses and both in their own
insane.
way insane?
I
Because they say the definition of insanity is
Yep.
doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So in that way, Brain might be a little bit insane to think that a 2-year-old lab mouse it can take over the world. I mean, that's an insane thought. On the other hand, there's no questioning Brain's intelligence. I mean, he just calculates things out to the billionth power without the use of a computer, and so he's very bright. But I mean, there are differences between brightness and sanity.
Yeah, but the cool thing about all of this, and the same thing with Animaniacs, is that we're here celebrating and chatting about a show that hasn't been in production for 20 years, and we have
Has it
all
really been
these
that long?
almost, and we have all these lovely people, many of whom were not born or were very young when that show was on and it's so great that the fan base is now multi-generational and is so interested in all of this. And Maurice and I, we are so fortunate to not only be in this position, but to be able to do these together, these types of events. And often, if the cons are really big ones, and this is, like Mo said, it's growing exponentially, but we're talking about cons that are like 100, 125,000 people. We could have 5,000 people in a Pinky and the Brain panel. It's fantastic. We're so grateful that you guys are even interested. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for making such a wonderful show.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate
there were
that.
187 other people that were involved in the making of that wonderful show. We just read the words, but we had great writers like
my
Peter
goodness.
Hastings, Tom Ruger, Sherry Stoner, Gordon Bresack,
Charlie Howell.
And Tom Minton.
Jed Spingarn,
Tom Minton, on whom The Brain was based.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people in making that wonderful
And
show.
clearly, you all have excellent taste in lab mice.
And Russell Calabrese and
Oh, my goodness.
wonderful directors
Kirk
and artists.
Tingblad.
Kirk Tingblad.
Crazy.
So yes, there's
Hello.
a lot of good people.
You have a question, right?
Yes. Hey, Robin, Maurice.
Hi.
It's me again.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's me again. I have two questions for both you, Robin, Maurice.
Yes.
I have a K&D question. You voiced my favorite villain, Father.
Oh, on Kids Next Door, codename Kids
Yes.
Next Door. Yes.
Yes. I was wondering, do you think you could do that iconic line from the Kids Next Door episode Operation Graduates, where you were telling the delightful children from down the lane to clean up the animal pen?
Yeah. He walks
know
in and
that-
he
you know
goes.
what he's talking
He
about?
walks in and he goes.
God bless you.
This
I mean, no offense. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
this place smells like a poo museum.
Woo!
I love that line.
That's his Kirk
I
Douglas.
actually couldn't get through that session. I laughed so hard.
That's pretty funny.
Yes, yes.
A poo museum, and then you're supposed to say,
museum.
no shit. Yeah. No, there's plenty of it. Yeah.
And Rob,
Yeah.
I'll ask the first question, but if you can't answer it, I'll just ask a different question.
Okay.
You also voice characters in Codename Kids Next Door. You voice Robin Food from the episode Operation Lunch, where you play a parody of Robin Hood,
Okay.
who steals kids' lunches and takes the lunches to the elderly people, but they didn't want it.
Yeah, don't you remember
it
that?
looks like you don't remember.
Come on, Mr. Countries of the world. Let's go.
Okay, if the question is confusing, I'll just ask a different question. Like, if you,
Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua. I promise you, my young friend, I am so sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
that's okay. I'll just
And that is not, I promise you, it is not meant to be coy. I really don't. I've been so blessed to have had so much work that I don't remember. I don't remember most things. Like my friend Kevin.
You mean you
is
mean
Kevin.
Maurice?
Kevin.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'd be happy to try to answer your second question.
Okay. What's the worst? I mean, not the worst. I mean, what's the role that you regretted voicing, or was it true that you said that that Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island was the
Okay,
worst.
let me see. Okay, I think I'm not Kreskin. That's an old also reference, but I think I can read your mind a little bit. What you're going to say is, and this happens to me a fair amount. You're going to say which is your least favorite role,
Yes.
Coconut Fred or Bubsy the Bobcat, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, let me. I don't even-
Bubsy the
I know.
Bobcat?
Yeah, that.
Did we know each other then?
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh
All
God.
right, here's the deal. People, for whatever reason, and again, I'm so flattered that anybody takes the time to think that I want to even address. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so not a big celebrity that somebody is going to say, "Oh my God, Rob Paulson's favorite role was this, or his least favorite role is that." Thank you for even considering that.
Yeah, I just want to make
there
sure
was
that
apparently
I'm
a
not
rumor
offending
that I
or-
really hated doing Coconut Fred, or I really hated doing Bubsy the Bobcat.
Bubsy the
I know.
Bobcat.
The fact is,
just
A-
gives me chills.
I don't know why people concern themselves with such thing. B, the fact that anybody pays me, trust me, I have nothing that I hate about the fact that a check clears. If you're going to pay me to do a talking bobcat or a talking coconut and the check clears and then I get residuals, dude, I'll talk like a freaking coconut all goddamn day long.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's clearly a SpongeBob ripoff.
Yeah, of course it was a SpongeBob ripoff.
Yeah, he was.
It's called show business, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Warner Brothers thought, hey man, if we can get 1/10 the audience that SpongeBob is doing, we'll do Coconut Fred. Just like I did Ninja Turtles, and then they came along with Biker Mice.
Yeah.
It was an unabashed ripoff. That's what. It's merchandising. It's a half-hour commercial to sell action figures, man. Yeah. But no, I don't regret doing any job that pays me. There are some I probably would go and say I would like to change this or change that, but I own it all, and I mean I own emotionally. I took the job, and I am grateful that I had it, and so the fact that anybody takes the time to pay me, we're all very grateful. Thanks.
Thanks for answering my first question the best as you can. I'm sorry you can't remember like some of your past voice
Well, I
roles.
definitely have some that were more favorite than others, but I don't hate them. I mean, Pinky and the Brain. If listen.
You
If
just, like, you
anybody
have
calls
lots of
back and
voice
wants to do a
roles.
reboot of Animaniacs or Pinky and the Brain, it would be unbelievably wonderful.
That would be awesome.
Call Netflix.
Thanks for talking. Thanks.
We have like
Thanks.
70 people
Thanks
behind
talking. I appreciate your time. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Thank you. And thank you for letting me ramble. Good question. Okay, next one.
Hi, Rob. This
Hi.
is Brittany from yesterday. I had given you that lovely collage that I
Oh.
drew for you.
Oh, hi, you did? Oh, my God, Brittany, that was fantastic. I just sold it on eBay for $6.
No, you did. Oh,
You're so talented. You got a couple more?
I have 1,000 more,
I gotta
actually.
put gas in my... No, thank you, honey. You should have seen what Brittany did. It was just really remarkable. Thank you.
I have two-part question. One's really quick. First off, as you personally, for Donatello, do you care about April like that, or are you like, okay, you're a hussy, leave me the hell alone?
I'm sorry, did I what now with April?
Really, do you really care about April like that, or are you like, okay, you're a hussy, leave me alone? As your own personal Donatello, not Donatello from Nickelodeon.
You mean, what was it written for me to have the hots for April?
I mean, so far,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Do you understand the question?
We
the
have lost
question
control,
is,
Robert.
do you
We've
care
done-
about April O'Neil
Did
at
I
all?
care about her?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, in terms of the context of the character.
Yes.
Oh sure. I mean, that's the way it was written. I mean, I'm
no,
sorry.
personally, as in you, not
Oh, you mean
Donatello.
in real life?
Does
You.
Rob Paulson care
Well,
about
yeah, of course. I mean,
Rob Paulson, human being, care about
about
April
me?
O'Neil, a
Yeah.
cartoon character?
well,
Don't
is,
you understand
is that
the
what
question?
you're asking?
Yes.
Oh, I don't really. I don't have any carnal thoughts about
Okay.
about a cartoon character personally. The young woman who was the voice of April. No, I don't. The only carnal thoughts I have are for Porky Pig. There, I said it. I'm out of the pork closet. No, and the young woman who was the voice of April was Mae Whitman, whom I adore, but I've known her literally since before she was born.
a child, yeah.
But no, Rob does not have any physical attraction to April O'Neil.
I didn't even mean physical.
Okay.
Final question.
Okay.
I saw Transdimensional Turtles.
Yes.
I really want to know, what would a good conversation between Donatello and 1987 Raphael really be like?
Wow. Well, it happens all the time in my melon. It does.
Please give me one little short skit.
Okay. It was like, dude, you can't hold a candle to Raphael. And like, dude, I invented the candle. Okay. That's pretty much how it goes. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. I'm sorry for the confusion, you guys. I'm as dumb as a freaking bag of hammers. Next question.
Hi. One of my favorite stories. Thank you. One of my favorite stories is of Mel Blanc waking up from his coma.
Oh my God.
After being referred to.
Yeah, it was in a
as Bugs
bad
Bunny.
car accident. Yeah.
It was horrible. It was a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel a deep connection to any of your characters like that? And can you explain how it happens, I guess? If that's
It's a great question, sweetie.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, very briefly, Mel Blanc was in a very, very bad car accident driving down Laurel Canyon and was in a coma for a long time. And apparently, the story goes that
The doctor sat by his bed, and I know this story because because I narrated the documentary Man of a Thousand Voices. So
Wow.
I actually told this story as the opening of that little documentary on Mel. He got in a car crash. He was in a coma for several weeks, and nobody could bring him out of it. And the doctor thought to himself, if he just talked to Bugs Bunny. So he went up to Mel's bed and said, "What's up, Doc?" or something like that. What did he say to him?
I don't know. It's, hey, Bugs.
Hey, Bugs, hey, Bugs, are you in there? That's right. And Mel like opened his eyes and went, what's up, Doc?
How about that?
Yeah, and came out of his coma. So
That is a remarkable
Yeah.
thing. That's a great question. What about you?
So, well, I had too much to drink one night about 28 years ago, and somebody said, "Is Egon in there?" And I said, "Get away from me." Go screw yourself. I've never been in a coma. I don't know. What characters do I feel very, very connected to? I have a deep connection to Brain. I love Brain. Brain to me, he's an endearing character.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. His struggle, his constant willingness to return to his struggle every single episode and never get discouraged is something that resonates with me. I love Kif Kroker. Kif is very real to me.
Please allow me to, and please allow a little moment of indulgence. Do you know that my friend Maurice LaMarche here has done a couple of things of which I'm utterly, deeply proud, and so is his family. My friend Maurice LaMarche here has been sober for over 25 years. Thank you very much. And he has won not one, but 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for his work on Futurama. 2, back to back.
From the man who won the Emmy for Pinky and
Yeah.
Pinky in the Brain.
But mine, and
Yes.
okay, but that's great. I'm not going to give it away or anything. But in Hollywood, they have a different language that they speak. I'm sorry, I just freaked out.
Right.
But in Hollywood, there is, to be sure, a delineation in terms of the cachet of daytime Emmys and primetime Emmys.
Stop that.
No,
It's
wait a minute.
No.
And no.
An Emmy is an Emmy is an Emmy is
Emmy.
an Emmy. An Emmy is an Emmy
Yeah.
is an Emmy.
But he won 2 of them back to back. So anyway, go and carry on with your little story.
Oh, stop. No, I
Kif,
mean, there are
Kif
characters.
Kroker, yeah.
Kif really resonates with me. I did an episode, one of the episodes actually, one of the episodes that I won the Emmy for was called L'Irreconcilable Indifferences. And it was Lur, ruler of the planet Omicron Persei I-8, going through a midlife crisis. And it happened at exactly the time I was going through my same midlife crisis. And my wife and I had separated for a time. We're back together now. And but my wife looks nothing like Unda. But yeah, that whole midlife crisis thing resonated. So I feel close to a lot of my characters, but not PC Popple.
That's one he hates.
I actually do. Even though the check cleared, I hated that character so much. I was glad when the show was canceled. There, I said it.
There, I said it.
Because I'm an asshole. Not like Rob Paulson.
Not like me. I'm an asshole.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you. On a side note, I'm 4 months sober, so keep going. Thank you for everything.
Oh,
I'm 4
honey.
months sober from alcohol.
Thank you very much, sweetie. Very kind of you. Thank you. Hey, handsome.
Hey, how's it going? All right,
You knew exactly who I was talking to, didn't you?
I have a question for you, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, I always wondered, who did you have more fun voicing, Raphael or Donatello in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes. Oh, they're first of all, the opportunity to get another ride in the Turtle Van 25 years later is a really remarkable thing. I'll always, with Barry Gordon and Cam Clark and Townsend Coleman, will always be the original Ninja Turtles. That was a cool thing. From a clean sheet of paper, it's great. But then 25 years later, to get the opportunity to do the reboot, which turned out great, and it was because the people who are making it are you guys. They utterly are the Turtle audience, and they get it. I was almost a victim of my own ageism, because when I got the call to audition for Ninja Turtles, I said to my agent, do they know who I am? Not out of arrogance, but because, as you guys know, as fans of the franchise, there have been a number of iterations of the show that had nothing to do with the original guys. And I totally get that. A new producer gets it. They want to put their own stamp on it. So I thought, man, I don't want to waste their time and mine. If they go in there and they say, oh, shit, that's right, he was Raphael when I was a little boy. Thank you very much. Well, he's here. Let's throw the old guy a bone. It never occurred to me that they'd be interested. But my agent called back and said, no, they know exactly who you are. They just wondered if you wouldn't mind maybe trying out for Donatello. And I said, of course. And I got the freaking job. But it was a huge thrill, as you can imagine. So they both are incredibly gratifying for two utterly different reasons. At the beginning, it was something that was a clean sheet of paper, and I got to ride this rocket to Icon Land. And then 25 years later, Icon Land calls me and says, do you want to do it again? Crazy, crazy opportunity. And I don't even know how I can quantify that gratitude. So I can't really answer the question except to say that, yes, I'm truly grateful for both of them. So thank you for asking.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
This question is for both of you. As seasoned voice actors, for somebody like me who, really idolize the guy to be in a world where one man stands alone, like that guy on every movie commercial. And
the trailer guy, Don LaFontaine?
Yeah, the trailer guy.
In the world.
Yeah.
Right. And working in retail and fast food, and I'll get on microphone and be like, all right, welcome to Dunkin' Donuts. How can I take your order? People are like, oh, man, you should really do radio and commercials and stuff.
Well, yeah, you got a great set of pipes on you. Yeah.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
Sure.
So, what advice would you have for me? Which direction should I take?
Mortis?
Well, I think the sound is a little bit muffled in here. The speakers are designed to go out that way, so I'm not hearing you as clearly as I would like. It sounds like you're saying you want to pursue a career in voiceover.
Correct.
And you're more inclined towards the announced stuff.
Well, it's more so people have suggested that for me. Like, hey, you should do commercials. You should be on radio.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting there like, how the hell do I get into radio?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of wonderful classes you can take in voiceover. There are workshops, especially in Los Angeles and New York.
And Atlanta.
And
a lot of stuff going on here.
You should go to Atlanta. I sometimes forget where the hell I am.
Now who's the smart one?
All right. So I'm sure there are wonderful voiceover workshops here. There's a burgeoning. You know what? I do so many of these that I sometimes forget what city I'm in.
No, I understand.
I'm in a hall. I'm in a convention. But yes, Atlanta is a hub of
a ton of
voiceover work. So check online, see voiceover workshops in Atlanta, and get in there and just see how you sound on mic. And learn some technique for announce and character creation, that type of thing. We always say, we almost parrot each other in saying this, become a good actor, because it's not about your voice so much as it is about your acting ability. Even if you are doing a straight announce kind of thing. I was dear friends, and still am dear friends, with Andy Geller, who was the ABC announcer. But he told me, it wasn't just his deep voice, but it was like he cared about what he was talking about, and every time he did something for Lost, he put a lot of his feeling into it, a lot of drama and caring and connection of the story that was being told in a 20-second promo. So it's really working on your acting ability as well as your microphone technique.
Yeah, and the fact is now, equipment is so inexpensive relatively. If you've got a laptop or even your phone, you can buy a tiny little mic and you can get a program I use called Twisted Wave on your iPad or your phone or whatever, and you can practice, have a great time. We have all these free, YouTube is free to put your stuff out there. You can listen to stuff. There are online courses. You can do community theater. You can sing at church. You can get together with your friends, do all kinds of stuff, and it really is literally how we started doing all that stuff. Yeah. I primarily am an actor and a singer. I'm not an announcer type person, but like Mo said, all the people whom I know, Don LaFontaine, God rest his soul, did theater. He was blessed with a great set of pipes. But you can practice and have all kinds of fun and do it for the best reason to do any of this is because it makes your soul happy. And, none of us started to do this for money. That does not mean I've been rich and I've been poor, and I'm finding that rich is a whole lot better. But I promise you, the truth is that none of us started doing impressions, having fun, making our parents laugh, relatives, friends, blah, 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 doing it. We did it because we couldn't not do it. And that's why you should do it. Because it's fun and you enjoy it and you have a gift, and see if you like it. If you do, great. If not, doesn't matter. But have fun.
I definitely will, guys. I definitely will. And hopefully, y'all see me in a movie or a TV show soon.
Well, have fun, buddy. Thank you. Hi.
Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Well, thank you.
He asked quite a few questions a friend of mine wanted me to ask you.
Can you tighten up a little bit on the mic there?
Oh, yeah.
There
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, much better. He asked some of the questions that my friend wanted me to ask you. So let me go over just one more. Do you guys recommend like a voice coach or acting coach for somebody who wants to get into the industry?
Do we recommend a voice coach?
Yeah.
Well, no, I personally don't. I think there are a lot of ways to get started without spending money, a lot of money, because when you start hiring people, as a particular coach or whether, one of the reasons I don't do a lot of coaching is because I'm smart enough to know what I'm not smart at. And I'm a pretty good actor and a pretty good singer, hopefully getting better. But there are a lot of people who are much better teachers than I. And although I could take somebody's money, and I think I have good information to offer, I'm not a really good coach. I'm a good information person. Okay. However, all of that, I would start first playing and having fun. Mm-hmm. See what you can do with your buddies and all of that. If you find a place where you want to get some coaching, that's okay, but it's not inexpensive. Mm-hmm. And then you also have to, check out the pedigree of the person who's giving you the coaching.
Gotcha.
And I'm not trying to disparage anybody in Atlanta who is charging money for voice coaching. Mm-hmm. They may have tons of great stuff. But in this day and age, unfortunately, folks, you can kind of create a resume, right, for yourself that doesn't necessarily mean it's.
Well, I don't teach. I'll just say that I don't teach because I don't know how to pass on to you what makes me what happens to me when I'm in the booth.
Right.
What happens to me when I'm in the booth is a little voice goes off in my head at the end of the tape that goes, God, that sucked. What the hell are you doing in this business? Do it better next time. Do it better. Do it better.
Yeah.
You know,
Start drinking
and if I did
again.
that, if I treated you, who's paying me money for an acting class, if I talked to you like that, you'd sue me.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. That's my technique.
Me too.
I mean, feel free to take that home with you if you like, for free. But I don't know how to teach this thing. I just kind of learned on the job. Came out of the gate half decent at it. I love to play pretend. I have a wonderful sense of play that's never left me.
Same here.
From when I was a kid. The best thing I've seen on creativity, if you have the time, if you have a half hour to give to it, go on YouTube and search for John Cleese on creativity. It's a half-hour talk that he gives. If you listen to the whole thing, it really is the key. And I sat down and went, wow, I mean, I really do all that already, so that's great. But it's really, really important. Important information there.
It's free.
It's just, and it's cost you nothing. But it's really about staying open and staying free and playing and having fun and creating a safe space to do that. One thing I would say is, search to see if there are any voiceover workout groups.
Or improv classes.
Yeah, improv classes. There are
Improv
people
is
who do
excellent.
Yeah, but there are people, and improv is something that you have to get to that open, playful place to do.
Yeah, improv
You
forces
can't be
you to-
closed. You
to
can't
be
be
fearless.
thinking. You've got to just be playing. But there are also voiceover workouts.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they're
you get
free.
it with other people.
And you just all get in a studio and read scripts. That happens a lot in Los Angeles. I'm sure it happens down here. You can Google anything. So Google that and see if that's happening. And if not, form one.
Yeah. Have fun
Put
and
out
get
something
together.
on Facebook going Atlanta voiceover workout, and you can get together in a room with a microphone and listen on playback.
That's
like
the
he
best
says,
idea to start.
and just start playing.
Yeah. Be unencumbered by who you are. Swing for the fences. Have fun. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to be a goofball. I mean, it really truly isn't about the money at the beginning. Because if you put that cart before the horse, you're almost certainly doomed to because you're going to be driven by, oh my God, I need this job. And that's not what it's about. That's not how creative people end up making money being creative. And the fact is that the passion you find, like my friend Leslie, we were having this wonderful chat earlier, it really is about passion to find what it is that floats your boat. It may be acting, and but that may not be the passion you have for performing may not be what pays your bills. Acting can be your avocation. But if you can find something about which you're passionate and you're good at it and you get money, then you've won the lottery. But it doesn't necessarily have to be acting or voice work. You should do that to try it and have fun, like Mo says, with other people of a like mind, and surround yourself with folks like that.
Okay.
To start.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then one day, you can be up on a stage in front of hundreds and hundreds of people while your friend is talking and fix your hair by watching the monitor behind you.
That's what it's about. Hi.
Hi. As a working actor, I'm all the time, part of it is always trying to refine your craft. And I know for me personally, part of how I do that is by listening to the stories and experiences of other actors. I'm actually going through the archive of Talking Tunes right now.
Oh, thank you.
On my iPhone.
I've heard of that. Well, that's a podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. The guy
Paul
to your-
Robson,
Well, all right, you
Yeah, to your
teed it up.
left
I'm
does
going to
it.
be very gratuitous at the moment. Thank you. I do a podcast that's free. And speaking of, it's actually talking what Mo was just talking about. I have a podcast that's called Talkin' Tunes, TALKIN apostrophe TOONS. It's on iTunes. It is utterly free. Mo's been on 2 or 3 times. All the people, the gentleman who was here, the last question, all the people from whom you guys would want to hear that are world-class voice actors have been on it, and they will be on it again, and there's some really exciting stuff coming about Talkin' Tunes. But listen to it. It's free. You're going to get all the type of information you want. They will tell you their own experiences. Nancy Cartwright, Mark Hamill, Maurice LaMarche, John DiMaggio, Tress MacNeille, Jess Harnell, on and on and on. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much. So listen to Talkin' Tunes. It's free and it's great information.
But yeah, that's one of the ways that I refine my craft. My question was, because you never stop learning and you never stop refining. Never, ever.
I stopped actually last week.
Yeah.
What are some of the
I
ways?
just went, I know everything now.
Yeah.
Screw everything else.
And I started drinking last week, so we're we're good. Yeah.
What are some of the ways you guys refine your craft, even to this day?
Say that again.
What are some of the ways that you guys continue to refine your craft?
Oh, well, we're fortunate enough that, like Mo said a bit earlier, we've had the good fortune of kind of learning on the job. Part of that was because I had parents who were kind enough to give me and my siblings the desire to follow our passion. They weren't thrilled about the fact that I chose to be in the moving picture business. But I moved to LA like Mo. I was 22 when I went to Los Angeles, and I already had 3 years of theater and live performing behind me, so I was relatively already involved and desperately passionate about performing. So when I started getting work, I started working with people whom I already, was aware of, and auditioning with other people, and I was in the mix at a pretty early age. But these days, I create stuff in my car, I write little song parodies, I hear things and steal bits and pieces of people I hear that I think might be interesting, and I have, my favorite actors. I go back and watch performances, and I try to learn and steal bits and incorporate them. I'm always trying to be creative. But I'm not getting paid for that.
Yeah.
It's something I do anyway. I love doing it.
Yeah, I try to stay open and listen. Listen to what's out there. Listen, and it's all grist for my mill.
Yeah.
When everybody else wants to change the channel or speed through the DVR, through the commercials, I go, please, I need to listen to this. And I listen to the way things are being read now, because if you listen to commercials from the 1990s, if you call up commercials on YouTube, the greatest tool in the world, by the way.
Fantastic.
YouTube is a gift from God. You can look up anything and
God's
see
made a lot of money on it.
what was being done. And so if I listen to commercials, the announce styles or the voiceover styles from the 1980s and the 1990s, the 2000s, it's changed. And there used to be a lot more of a deliberateness to it. And now things are more thrown away. It's more conversational.
Yeah.
It's almost I don't give a crap kind of a read.
Mo was the voice of Lexus for 7 years.
And I really, got to the point where we just kept making the read more and more relaxed, whereas it used to be a very deliberate read. So I stay open to what's being done now. I try to incorporate, I wouldn't say imitate, but incorporate the attitudes that are out there and the kind of reads that are out there. So that's just this part of what I do. Thank you.
Yeah, there are so many ways, podcast, YouTube, to hone your craft all the time. And even on-camera stuff, live action stuff. You can watch it on YouTube all the time and just see great performances. Go back, and one of my favorite character actors is Jack Hawkins, British actor who died many, many years ago. But I love to go back and watch Bridge on the River Kwai and movies that these folks have worked in years ago. James Mason, Peter Lorre, all these wonderful actors. And you go back and see, Peter Sellers is one of my heroes, and you go back and see what it is and remind yourself about those actors that made them so special and so unique. And I continue to incorporate that in my own stuff and hone it to work for me. It never stops. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Openness.
Yeah, thanks,
Stay
pal.
open
Good luck to you.
Bring in. Yeah.
Quick
Hello.
time check, folks. Real quick, we have 10 minutes left.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Hello, nurse.
I don't know if you remember me. I was here 3 years ago and got your autographs and stuff.
Oh, I
Anyways.
totally remember you. Thank you for getting my autograph and stuff.
But anyway, the way that the room is lit
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
you guys all stood with me and took a picture with me for free.
Yeah, you look like you guys look like a one many-headed beast to us, because you're completely silhouetted. We can't make
Looks
out
like
your
a
faces.
giant hydra.
So yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, there you go.
are. Hello. Hello.
I decided to go into voice acting too, but I'm very beginner at it. I was just wondering, how did you two start out? Like, what was your first gig? Like, how'd you get your first job?
Getting the first job. You just just keep putting it out there. Audition. Look for, if you're not in the union, look for open auditions. Do you have an agent yet?
I do not. I don't have the money. So.
Okay. Well, okay. First of all, any agent that charges you to represent you, run.
Yeah. Doesn't work that way.
It does. They make their money when they get you work. So if anybody's involved with an agent that's charging you money, get the heck out of there.
But mind you, we're talking about Hollywood and Los Angeles, and I don't know. I mean, Georgia is a right-to-work state, so it's not about unions and all that stuff here. That doesn't mean there isn't union work available. And Mo and I are both only do union work. However, our perspective is from the Hollywood perspective.
Right.
Okay?
But I'm just saying about agents. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah. No,
any
agents-
agent worth their salt
Right.
takes their commission when they get you
When
work.
they get-
don't,
yeah, if-
they don't charge you $300
They don't
to
charge you
sign
up
on
front
with
to
them.
represent you.
I
Doesn't
think
work
that's unethical, whether it's a right to work state or not.
Yeah.
That said,
That's right.
There are open auditions. Go on voicebank.net,
Voice
voices.com,
123,
voice 123, and just submit yourself. You can do it with, again, can't say enough about Twisted Wave, a great app that only costs a few bucks. Twisted Wave on your iPhone, an Apogee mic, M-I-C. How much are they? About $100?
Like $150.
It's
I
an
mean,
investment. I mean,
Yeah.
just save your pennies and buy one. Because if you go into a well, a closet with a lot of clothes in it, and just read ad copy, it'll be dead enough for you to.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sometimes we send stuff in from our cars with our Apogee mics and our
Yeah.
iPhones, just
work
for
on a
auditions. It's good enough. And just read, go on the open auditions and read stuff and send it in. And this is the way it's being done now. It's a new world. When we started out in the late 70s and early 80s, you had a sanctioned agent who got the copy, decided whether or not you were right to be called in for the CBS promos or whatever, and you went down and you read. And it was put on tape, and then she emailed, or she didn't email, she put it in an actual box, and Federal Expressed it. Now, just send it in over the internet. Just keep swinging at pitches.
And we still audition all the time.
Yeah.
I've done, I don't know, over 2,500 half hours of animation, which means I've auditioned for probably 5,000. The first jobs I did animation-wise were G.I. Joe and Transformers, mid-'80s. Yeah. But audition. We audition all the time. I sometimes get tired of it, but only because I've done it a lot. But that is how we get our work.
And I had a last question. As considering like the political climate now, how would Pinky and the Brain take over the world?
Oh.
What makes you think we didn't?
Yeah. In fact, maybe we did that thing called the Trump bot.
The Trump bot, yes.
Maurice and I read something, and he tweeted it out where the Brain created the Trump bot. Thank you, sweetie. Good luck to you. Hey, buddy, nice to see you.
Yes, I was wondering if you would remember me or not.
Hi.
Well, I have two questions, and the first one's for both of you. In this political climate that we have now, where essentially it's just the Trump, my question to you is that if they ever made an animated series revolving around Donald Trump's presidency, would either of you have an idea of the voices you do for an audition?
I don't know. I might try doing a Christopher Walken. And then my show could be called The Walking Dead. See what I did there? Because if you don't, you're fucking stupid. Forgive me. Go ahead,
It's very
Mel.
funny.
I'll just say that my cartoon show's the best cartoon show. Nobody had numbers like my show. It's huge. It's fantastic. Somebody had me an accordion. I don't know.
That's why he's Maurice LaMarche.
Don't you have a project? Aren't you on a Kickstarter project?
I'm doing something right now with Sean Astin and Greg Sipes and myself. We're doing something called A Foul American, F-O-W-L. And that also was a Kickstarter, but they got all their money, so we're doing a pilot.
Who's playing the?
Oh, Eric Bauza.
Oh, Bowser's going to
Bauza, Eric Bauza, who's a new kid in L.A. who does he's a wonderful actor.
Fellow Torontonian.
Another,
from Toronto, Canada.
Torontonian. He plays.
Turns out all the impressionists.
He
Jim
plays
Carrey,
Tiger
me.
Claw on the new Ninja Turtles, but he does this killer impersonation of Donald Trump. Yeah.
And my next question is for Mr. Bubba Bo Bob Mo. And
Yes.
That question is, if we covered the world in salad dressing, do you think the asparagus would feel left out?
Please repeat the question, my friend.
Do you think if we covered the world in salad dressing, the asparagus would feel left out?
If we covered the world with salad dressing,
would the asparagus feel left out?
asparagus feel left out? Yes.
He got right
Isn't that great that he can elicit that response with one word? I love him so much.
This is going to be our last question, folks. Only have
Okay, sorry, last question. And a lot of it is as a result of my
But
rambling.
the baby had a question. I want to hear the baby's question, too.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, what a
no,
kind young
No,
man.
I'm kidding. Ask your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was not really a question. That's why I had a request. Like, can you please like do Carl offering Brain a croissant?
Hey, Brain, are you going to finish that croissant?
Do I look like I'm not going to finish the croissant? Do I look like I ever didn't finish anything except broccoli? Next question. I want to hear from the lady with the baby.
More.
She's
You've
been standing there.
standing there with that sweet baby in your arms all afternoon, so go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm a huge Nickelodeon fan. As you can tell, I'm wearing a Rocco shirt.
You look pretty normal sized to me.
Yeah,
but
that's
thank
right.
you.
Sorry, I don't know why I said lady. You're obviously the deepest voiced lady I've ever met in my life. You should go into voiceover. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, forced my daughter to dress up as Chucky from Rugrats.
Yeah.
So both of you have had roles on different shows from Nickelodeon. I was just wondering if you have any like quick story or anecdote that sticks out to you in your time working for Nickelodeon.
Got it. Nick.
Nickelodeon? Just, wow.
I've done so much stuff over
So have
there.
I. I love,
Yeah.
you know, my first show with them was Hey Arnold. I've actually become Big Bob Pataki, the Beeper King. I only wear this kind of shirt. This is all I wear. But I don't have an annoying daughter named Helga. I just always loved the Nick vibe, you know?
I did too. Butch Hartman hired me. I think my favorite character, I've done a lot of stuff. Turtles and Mo and I did, Carl, I love Carl. But we did that with Doug TenNapel.
Cat Scratch.
Loved
We loved Cat Scratch.
I have to say though, man, I did a, 75,
Jimmy Neutrons? No.
yeah, no, not oh God. Yeah. What show was that? Fairly Odd Parents. Thank you. Yeah, my favorite guy is Mark Chang. Because, man, I get the hots for Vicky. And so, I mean, all those guys. Butch Hartman has been so great. I did Danny Phantom. I did Tough Puppy. And what did I do?
The Box Ghost.
Oh, the Box Ghost! Beware! Anyway, you guys, thank you. I'm so sorry that we do ramble, and not me, and not Mo. I do, and I know that eats up a lot of time. But you guys are all so incredibly delightful, and I don't.
It's
ever,
all good information, my friend.
Yeah, but I chat too much.
I love it.
You guys,
Rob Paulson, ladies
Maurice
and gentlemen.
LaMarche. Thank you very much, you guys.
Kind attention.
You can follow us on Twitter. I am at Yakko Pinky, and he is.
I am at Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah.
My name with no space
So
in between.
at Yakko Pinky or at Maurice LaMarche. Thank you, guys. We really love you.